Fridays, 3:30 to 4:30 p.m. in the newsroom. You can't afford to miss it.
Welcome to the newsroom on OSBC television. Oluwatoyin Yusuf is my name. Well, Nigeria has continued to face fuel crisis for a couple of weeks now. We can't really say it has not been all that ohoro since President Bola Ahmed Tinubu took the baton of power from General Muhammadu Buhari, retired. There are 2-3 months we have fuel supply, 6-7 weeks. We will have to be battling with supply of fuel, and those who could get it will get it at exorbitant prices. And then we had a bombshell on Monday that the NNPC, for the first time in a very long time, came out to agree that $6 billion debt owed marketers and local suppliers of fuel is actually worsening the first crisis and situation in Nigeria. Adeleke and our in the studio.
Yeah, good afternoon, viewers. It's good to be here.
Sunday, you're welcome.
Thank you for having me. Good evening. Yes.
Yeah, it's a pleasure having all of us here. It's a corporate program in any case. Now, Sunday, the fuel crisis seems unending. Is it really unending? Is it a situation that cannot be curtailed? Is it a crisis that is far beyond the powers of the government or the president, as it were?
The situation with Nigeria is quite pathetic. I don't know. At the point of inauguration of the president, he said subsidy has gone. Without how do I put it? No preparation for anybody. Just put everyone in untold hardship. You know, as soon as the price of petrol increases, price of every other thing will surely go up. And the common at the mercy of the common men. I don't know why the increase in petrol should be unending. He told us subsidy has gone. All of a sudden, NNPCL said it's owing marketers $6 billion. What is it meant for? It's quite pathetic. It's like we have, we have leadership problem. The problem confronting us is leadership. Our leaders go abroad, they see what is happening there, they cannot replicate it. What's the problem? Nobody has ever known what the problem is. No subsidy. You now brought in another language, stopgap or what?
Intervention fund.
Intervention fund. Intervention for who? We are buying it. The NNPC is selling it for 580. This morning, the report has been trending that NNPC will likely, that the federal government has instructed the NNPC to increase fuel prices. It was debunked this morning, and just about some minutes ago, the NNPC came out to tell us that the price has been adjusted to 897 naira and is still not in the market. Some are selling 1,950. I just don't know what the problem is, why it keeps on unending, why our leaders will put us into untold hardship. So they are the best people. Probably what Dangote has promised to roll out his
we will come to that. We will come to that. Let us question that. Now, Tunde, we are not really even talking about intervention fund now, a term coined to replace subsidy. But if the local marketers, the local suppliers rather, have been supplying crude or what have you to NNPC, why owing them to the tune of $6 billion that the common man is now the one to be paying for the errors by whoever the person is.
Okay, let's look at it from this perspective. About 2 weeks ago, NNPC declared a profit of about 3 or 6
Exactly,
trillion.
3-point-something trillion naira.
So after a week, we are talking about $6 billion debt. Who is fooling who? Where is that coming from?
Why not paying off the debt?
This is the thing. The issue is very, very clear. We are just trying to hide under a finger, like the Yorubas will say. NNPCL, they are the major importer of PMS into Nigeria. Okay, other, private individuals or companies importing have been barred from importing. So it's only the NNPCL that is importing. Okay, the issue we have now is that demand for the product is higher than the supply. NNPC is complaining that they cannot afford to continue intervening, paying subsidy. Let's just put it clear.
But the subsidy is going
to where? What is the landing cost of PMS?
Over 1,000 naira.
When it lands, how do you take it? From offshore. When it gets to the marketers, how much are they dispensing? So when they dispense like that, and the dealers, how much will they sell to the end users? So the issue is very, very clear. NNPC cannot afford to import as much as what Nigerians need daily. That is just the situation we have. And the issue is the fact that they have been subsidizing, but the fund to subsidize is no more there, and they are even owing. So they have been talking about the fact that we cannot continue this way. We are owing. How can, if someone is owing you, will you be able to give such person supply?
What have they been using the profits for?
They have been subsidizing. The truth of the matter.
Making profits, blowing back the profits into subsidy.
Yes, because they are the only ones. It used to be so many companies importing. But with the new order, let only NNPC supply. NNPC, the federal government has the largest share in NNPC. So they must carry.
They must go by instruction.
You understand? So that is the situation we have at hand. And when we have a situation like that, definitely we will continue to have this crisis. You understand? And you talked about Dangote the other time. Dangote came out yesterday that, okay, we have achieved our PMS. And from the feelers we are having, NNPC is not ready to take from us. Nigerian dealers are not ready to take from us. If they don't take from us, we will take outside.
Yes, you say this way.
So what kind of administration are we running? Some people have even suggested to Dangote, why not have your mega stations
exactly
all over the country and be dispensing? People will buy. We talked about giving Dangote crude from here. It took so long before a declaration came. Whether it's been supplied or not, we don't even know. You understand? Because I listened to an interview granted by Dangote himself yesterday on a TV station. And the reporter actually asked him a direct question. How much of, kudos will you give to this government? He was only talking about the fact that the vision to establish where Dangote refineries is established today was that of President Bola Tinubu when he was the governor of Lagos. That was the credit he gave to the president. What is happening now? Why is it that it is when Dangote refinery is about kickstarting operations that we are having all these problems? You understand? So I think the government must be questioned, and the other major players in the industry must be questioned, because Nigerians are the ones
bearing the brunt
of all these problems. Look at, I saw a friend of mine who resides in Lagos. He sent a video to me, it's on my phone. NNPC filling station in Ikoyi selling at 897 naira per liter. This morning.
And that's the adjustment.
That is the adjustment.
Just present.
Yet, I think sometime late last week, one of the subsidiaries of NNPC were saying, okay, any station found selling above
580 will be sanctioned.
Which station has been sanctioned, sister?
No, but
they are just giving us.
Do they even supply them? Look at all the outlets.
They are just giving us.
How many of them?
You know, I've been buying 950 for the past 2 weeks.
980.
I've been buying 950. You cannot go and check the queue at NNPC yesterday.
If you can.
They were not even selling. You can queue from today till tomorrow. They won't give you full tank.
It is rationing.
Yes. Cars 10 liters. Okadas 5. So that majority can get. That has been the situation. So the supply is not there. The demand is very, very high. So how do we tackle that?
But what is responsible for the high demand? As soon as the president announced the increase in pump price of petrol when it was sworn in,
from 180 to 580
to 580, we got to know that the rate at which people buy petrol reduced. You know, before they told us number of millions per liters we consume in Nigeria a day, without knowing that some people take it outside the country. Something that they use our money to subsidize. Some Nigerians take it outside the borders to sell. Even there was a trending video whereby people at the other end, the people from Niger, from Ghana, they were protesting.
From Cameroon,
they were protesting
yes,
for the hiking price of petrol. Then the report has said that the rate at which we consume petrol reduced. What has now made it to?
What has jacked up the demand, the increase in demand?
What has been responsible for the increase in demand? It means people has been even taking it out of the country.
I think the government at that point in time was not circumspect in their thinking, in their approach to this issue. If you are looking at maybe as Babatunde Fanopo, I have 5 vehicles in my compound. So when the price of petrol was increased, I'll decide to say, okay, let me be using one instead of 5. But you have forgotten the fact that your decision to increase the price will affect virtually every facet of our life. You understand? And that is the implication of what we are having today. Foodstuff, you cannot approach. School fees, electricity tariff, everything.
It means price of goods and services
will still go up.
Definitely. It's not about those who are using cars.
We are now saying people are protesting. Why will people not protest?
Exactly, that is where I'm going to. Why will people are gathering up again against October? Why will Nigerians not protest?
Even aside that, it happened in Abuja yesterday. People protested.
Why won't they?
And they have been calling for the head of Kiari, the NNPCL GMD. But the issue is that, is it about Kyari? Come to think of it, Emefiele was removed. Cardozo came in. What has changed?
Exactly. The exchange rate keeps going up, coming down like a yo-yo.
What has changed?
Honestly,
I think it's the function of the government, policies, you know, strategy, approach to whatever they are planning to do. Because Nigerians are crying. Things are very hard. I was listening to one of our colleagues this morning. To buy a pen, we used to buy it 16 naira, 17 naira.
that was when it's
As of last week, this morning, a ball pen is 100 naira. And school will be
and as
resuming.
at this morning, the price of petrol has not increased to 897 naira.
Where the ball pen was sold for 1 naira.
When the pen was sold at 100 naira.
So tomorrow, landlords will be talking about hiking the price of shops. So, and you say, how can you sell a Congo of rice for 3,000? These are some of the things. Government policies have a lot to do with, you know, what is going to happen in the economy, and that is what we are facing in Nigeria at the moment. Go and check. Someone was telling me that the husband has been in the filling station since yesterday, that he did not even sleep at all. Because he wanted to buy at NNPC. So
look at the time wasted.
The man,
and I wonder why, if this is not the same Nigeria as late 70s.
And you can even imagine the president is in China now, signing MOU, trying to invite investors into which kind of situation.
Well, I think the situation now is people will continue to ask questions. People will continue to discuss issues. Are we now saying that Bola Ahmed Tinubu did not prepare for becoming a president? Somebody who was a senator, somebody who was a governor for 8 years, somebody who came out to tell us that he had always lost the ambition of becoming the president. I think Bola Ahmed Tinubu is not an emergency president.
No, Toyin, let me tell you, when he emerged as the president of Nigeria, I felt like, okay, for the very first time, Nigeria is not having an accidental president.
Exactly.
This is a man that has been clamoring to have this job.
And now he has got the job.
And he had a slogan, Egbe Kinewa, Emilokan. So, if you say people should give these things to you, that it's your turn.
It means you must have had solution to the problems.
When before his election, you know, we had issues with fuel and naira. He said, therefore, Kambale, Amagbewale.
And nothing has come down. Instead,
since he came on board,
everything keeps going on.
From day one in office. Like he said, you came around in your inaugural speech, you removed fuel subsidy, and you increased pump price of petrol. Oluwatoyin, do you know how much they sell a liter of kerosene now?
More than 1,000 naira,
Per liter,
yes. Yes.
It's about 1,700.
Yes. Close to 2,000 now.
Only God knows how much will be.
Are you aware that our mothers in the village are not used to
access to
cooking gas?
Or why? Even those of us in the cities, how many of us can afford to fill our gas cylinders? Everybody now buys coal. We use fire.
So when you take a decision, you must think about the far-reaching effect it's going to have on the downtrodden masses of this country. So you just came on board, without looking at the books.
Not only the downtrodden. Before we normally have middle class.
Middle class is gone already.
Middle class is gone already. Even if you monitor the build up to the forthcoming American general election, you see the candidates hammering on the middle class. Even in the United States of America, middle class, tax cut, blah, blah, blah. But nobody's talking about the middle class in Nigeria. It's either you are rich or you are poor.
Then we still continue to ask some questions. Okay, some economists will come around and say, no, don't worry, things will be okay. Don't worry, things will be okay. More than a year now. Will things be okay after the first time or what? Or will things be okay after Nigerians have suffered for 3 years or what or when? Okay, renewed hope. What hope now for us? It's like you have given us a 70,000 naira minimum wage and you want to collect the minimum wage back.
Do you know the reporter I said interviewed Dangote asked him a very, very pertinent question that how much will a liter of PMS go for? He said he could not answer that because certain committees would have to sit
down, really,
and determine what is going to be the final cost
of a liter of
the issue is this is not. I think Dangote must have been supplied crude in naira.
No,
yes,
you think.
Yes,
you think.
The federal government has authorized them to
They authorized, but are you sure they have supplied?
But they must have. The federal government has supplied. Dangote must have said that I am importing crude. So which means the federal government is supplying him.
He has not said that he is.
And that is why he said he is capable of producing 250,000 barrels per day.
But actually, why did he say that if NNPCL had supplied him crude, will they refuse to take from him?
NNPC is not saying he's not taking from him.
He said it himself.
No, he said if NNPC refuses to order man before something must have happened.
This is what I'm saying.
Something must have happened for him to have come out to say that.
But
even before NNPC was,
was meant to be the sole.
No. Before NNPCL was ordered to be given Dangote crude in naira, there was a tug of war between Dangote and NNPCL.
Yes. The corporation didn't
so it took the intervention of Mr. President to have made that declaration that, okay, supply this guy.
In naira.
Crude.
Yes, in naira, not even in dollars, in naira.
Then, what would not
and Adeleke there said that the refinery is capable of, releasing about 20-something million liters of PMS every day.
650,000 barrels. And we know how many liters are in a barrel now. That is it.
Into our economy, if we are ready. But for him to have said that, if you are not ready, I'm selling outside.
Then the president...
Don't forget he's in business.
But the issue now is with this petroleum coming on board,
yes,
I think the price of petrol
will crash.
Ought to have crashed.
No, you think?
Let us wait for the next 2 or 3 days. But one thing is clear to me is that the president has to do something strategic about this NNPC.
Do you know we've been talking about this?
Some heads must roll. There are some people who actually don't want Tinubu to succeed. That is very clear. And maybe he knows them, maybe he doesn't know them. And maybe he knows them, the president just keeping quiet.
Well, actually, the truth of the matter is this. Tinubu himself has been a major player in the country's all industry. That's what I'm talking about. He has been a beneficiary.
So he should know.
He should know. Nitty-gritty.
They know. We were discussing at the editorial meeting yesterday, and I said something that, okay, any serial government that want to fight a cartel in a system must be ready to be honorable first.
Yes.
If the cartel understands that the man who wants to fight us is clean, they will sit up. But because they know you very well, they know what you have benefited in the past. We have it. We have it on authority that even Mr. President is refining in Malta. We don't know how true is that or not, or how true that is or not. You know, but the truth of the matter, he who must come to equity
Must come with clean hands.
This is what we are saying.
So the issue now is the problem behind this oil industry.
It's multi-faceted. Yeah, mystery.
And it looks intractable. And what's quite intractable?
What is going to be?
But unfortunately, Nigerians are the ones suffering the whole
The masses is the one
essence of it.
The masses are the one at the receiving end.
That's it.
What I think the government should do is probably lay off those behind. I mean, those at the end of affairs.
That is what I said. It's most
probably employ capable hands, or even give the refinery, I mean the NPCL to a private hands. Look at the way
some people have just suggested
look at the way
you could
look at the problem we normally encounter when this MTN before the before the advent of MTN and NPC, we want to call you, move from one location to the other. But as soon as the
telecommunication giants came on board, you could buy from wherever you want to buy.
And you know, we have so much competition.
Healthy competition.
So I think that what was done in that sector should also be done in the oil sector, even the power sector.
And another angle to it in resolving this, because we have to look at solutions to all this. I said something that some people have suggested that, you know, Dangote should try as much as possible to think about having his mega stations across the country. We have so many NNPC mega stations. We have their stations all over the but the fact that they are not refining, they are not producing. You understand? They are only importing. So the capacity to actually supply all those stations
is not there.
But if Dangote can have his, you know, stations, you know, across towns in the country, I think Nigerians may likely have respite. That's my approach.
Yes, in any case,
but one other thing is,
but that would take a longer period.
Apart from the long-term planning, apart from the fact that it will take a longer period, its efforts might even be sabotaged. That's the problem.
Because, you know, it's a kind of face-off between Dangote and the government. Honestly.
No, not even the cabal. Let's say the cabal.
It's the government. It's the government. If the government cannot do the needful. So, I mean, if you have
how would I put somebody to head this? You don't give me results.
And you cannot take him out of the job.
The man has been on this project for so long. He's been taking loans. He's been doing all sorts of things. You know. And do you know Dangote in that interview actually thanked the government of Lagos specially for the kind of support he has received. He did not say that of the federal government. It was after that he said, people even asked him, if you look at the quality, he said something about the quality of the PMS, D5 or something, the best in the world, yet we are rejecting it here. So these are some of the things we really need to look at and, you know, get something done quickly. Okay, because Nigerians are suffering.
Let's wait until the PMS is finally.
Yes, no problem.
Is that already?
No, we should be having it.
He said within the next 24 hours.
24 hours. So let's wait till tomorrow, Thursday and Friday. And finally, the man has come out because there was a time people were accusing him of nurturing the ambition of contesting the presidency of that Dangote. But the man came out and said, no, I am a businessman. I don't have any interest in what? In politics. So why must anybody will be sabotaging his efforts at making things easy for Nigerians?
What law forbids Dangote
from even contesting for the nation's presidency?
Why do we think like this?
That is what some people are saying.
Why?
He wants to contest.
So if he wants to contest and he has the capacity
and things will be better for Nigerians,
why not? Is he not a citizen of Nigeria? does the Constitution forbid him
To contest.
Well, thank you so
You
much.
are only looking at it as a face value.
We do hope all we have been saying and all we have continued to say on this program, well, we'll get to the powers that be. Things are not easy for Nigerians. I come to work now in my vehicle twice in a week. I drive to office Monday and Friday.
to want the car.
To the very 3 days I come on a bike. That is just it, because I can see it's take.
Do you know how much it
Even
cost you to come on?
Oluwatoyin, let's look at the government. Okay, fuel is expensive. Our transportation system is zero.
So what are we talking about?
So what is actually working
this
here?
minimum wage of a thing?
It's
What is going
nonsense.
to be the benefit now?
You pay it.
They cannot even pay up till now.
So what are we talking about?
You've not even told.
We have not seen their. We have not seen anything.
You give it.
God bless Nigeria.
Collect it with another.
Tomorrow is another day on the program in the newsroom. So much thanks to Batunde Fanawoko.
Thank you very much.
Hassan Adeleke, you're welcome. Oluwatoyin Yusuf is my name. Enjoy the rest of the day. Good evening.
Mondays through Fridays, 3:30 to 4:30 p.m. in the newsroom. You can't afford to miss it.